Welcome to the good stuff, the back stories, back strengthener. Here we go, strengthening our back, but not just strengthening, also relaxing, releasing everything you need to go through your day, whatever your day demands of you. Start in a chair pose, feet and knees are parallel. Now stay seated with the hips pushing back and down. Now interlace your finger, push them forward, round your back, then open the chest, lift the arms overhead and release. And again, this is a little bit of a warm-up and also a back stretch and upper back strengthening. So when you lift the arms, push them forward, engage your navel, lengthen the back, and then lift the arms overhead, pull the hands up and over and back, engaging the upper back, sliding those shoulder blades down towards your hips, opening. Very nice. Little variation of this. We're still in our seated chair, so push your hips down and back, and now lift the arms overhead, stretch them out. A little bit of a Y or V shape here for the hands. Your thumbs are pulling backwards, pinky finger down. Don't look too much at the video, look in front of you so your neck stays long and not crunched. And now you can sit back a little bit lower. This might lengthen your lower back a little bit, strengthen your glutes, foundation of your back, and then come back up. A little bit of an easy one. YTW, great exercise for opening the chest and strengthening the upper body. We're starting with the hands more or less chest height, and then lift the hands up and over, Y shape, thumbs are pointing backwards, and open them up to the side into a T, and then again open into a W. Start again with the Y, up and over, lift the chest, lift the chin. Thumbs are pointing backwards, palms are facing towards the sky or ceiling, and a W. Now make sure that your shoulders are down at all times, so that your shoulder blades can slide down along your back like a waterfall going down. This is to release our stress muscle, the trapezius, to give that muscle no chance to engage and to counteract the pulling up of the shoulders actively. Very nice. One last W and then release. Some knee pulls, the simple version, we're just pulling the knees to the chest, grabbing with both hands and then releasing. The challenge here is to not hunch over when you're pulling the knee, but to bring the knee towards your chest rather than bring the chest down, rolling forward to the knee. So you want to stay long, upright, pulling the crown of your head to the sky, anchoring your heels into the ground. And then simply bring one knee to the chest, pulling with both hands. Bring both shoulder blades together, pulling the elbows back behind your body as much as possible. And then releasing. One more time. And then we're releasing the whole back. Bend the knees a little bit and roll forward, keeping the whole weight on your feet. Pull the navel in, round the back, go all the way. Let the head hang, let the shoulders hang, the hands, the elbows are hanging. And then keep the knees bent, pull the navel in and roll up into standing. Pull the shoulder blades down and back at the end. Then release back down again. You can keep the knees bent unless you do want to stretch your hamstrings as well a little bit. Then you can stretch the legs out. Very good. Do that 2 more times in your own tempo and speed. Just make sure that every time you're coming back up, you're also lengthening. And when you're rolling forward, support your spine, support your back by pulling the navel in and engaging your core. This allows you to roll over an imaginary ball or barrel, big ball, big barrel that you're rolling over, reaching over. Relax your head, let the head hang. Last time, nice relaxed shoulders, elbows and hands. Head is hanging, neck is relaxed, and come up again. Very nice. I'm demanding your balance. Starting with the right leg, runner touches, shooting the left leg out, left arm comes forward, and then try to touch right elbow and left knee, reaching out into airplane pose, and then come back into standing, lifting the knee. You do want to engage the upper back. That means those arms are very active, lifting them up diagonally, and then pulling the arm back, the left arm back when the right arm comes forward. Change sides. Balance on your left leg. Shoot the right leg, right arm forward. And then the left elbow comes to the right knee diagonally. Same side, first shooting out. Foot and hand, reaching up. Engage your upper back. We're lengthening, strengthening. You want to bring a lot of length between every vertebra. Staying very long and balanced on the leg. So a little break for your brain. Rotator cuffs openings here. Flex the arms 90 degrees. Flex your hands. And then open your arms like a book. The forearms separate to the sides. Hands stay flexed. And those elbows stay glued to your chest. And to get a little bit more opening and lengthening, lift the chest, lift your chin, lift the nose a little bit. And then come back to center when you're closing. I don't want you to overextend and back bend. I just want you to get a little bit of a pull into your chest by lifting the chin. You will feel what's good for you. And release. Hip flexor stretch, right foot comes forward into a deep lunge. We're lifting the arms overhead, coming in a deep lunge position, and then stretch the leg back out, release the arms. When you bend the forward knee, make sure the knee doesn't come more forward than your ankle. If it does, make the step a little bit wider. Very important, so the knee doesn't get too much weight here. Since this is our back strengthener, I would like you to focus on pulling the thumbs and elbows back, sliding the shoulder blades down and together. After this session, you will do that automatically every time. You will walk around with the shoulder blades pulling towards each other. You'll be like, "Ooh, my shoulder blades are kissing. This is so nice." And then change sides. Left foot comes forward, right foot comes back, big low lunge. And then bend the front knee, swing, extend the arms overhead. Your thumbs are pulling backwards, but not just the thumbs, also focus on those elbows. Elbows are reaching out from the shoulders and pulling backwards. This will engage the whole upper back, pulling the shoulder blades down. Very nice. And we're having a little bit of a hip flexor stretch here, and this allows us to free the spine so the spine doesn't get pulled forward, especially in the lumbar spine from the psoas. So engage into this low lunge here, stretching the hip flexor. Left and right might be a little bit different. That's okay. We're just discovering here. And last time. And we're already coming to the floor. Come into a 4-point stance, all fours, knees underneath the hips, hands underneath your shoulders. And we're simply mobilizing to start with contract, release. When you contract, pull your navel in, shift the hips backwards, round your upper back and slightly pull the head in. Again, imagine that barrel or big ball that you're leaning over, supported by your abdominals, so you want to pull the navel in and narrow the waistline slightly. And when you come back up, simply release. So as much as feels good, you don't need to come into too much of an extension. This is more like a mobilization. And the contraction of the abdominals helps us to lengthen the spine from the tailbone to the crown of the head. So imagine the movement is engaged by the tailbone and the crown of your head. Getting the arm in, right arm is coming up, crunching to the center, lifting again, put the arm down, keep crunching. So the same movements going on every time in your back, in your core, but the arm gives it a little bit more of a difficulty level here. So we're reaching out with the right arm, pulling the navel in, pulling the elbow in, and then reaching back out. Drop the hand, crunch, inhale, release, exhale, crunch, inhale, shoot the arm back out, exhale, crunch, put the hand down. Inhale, right arm comes up, exhale, crunch, pull the navel in, inhale, reach out, and exhale, down. Do this in your own tempo a few more times, and keep remembering that we're rounding over a barrel, over a big imaginary ball. Try to engage the movement from all two sides. So the tailbone is pulling down when you crunch, crown of your head is pulling down in an even manner. So the whole spine is rounding as much as you can over its whole length. Next challenge, leg is coming out, same movement, right leg is shooting out, crunch, and then pull the leg back in and change sides. Extend, left side is coming out, shooting back and in, and then put the knee back down, rounding, and again, right side shoots out, round the back, pull the knee in as much as you can, shoot back out, put the knee back down to the floor and change sides. If you need to do this a little bit slower, go ahead, there's no rush here. So the leg is just adding a little bit more of a weight and making that movement a bit more difficult for you. And as you can imagine, we're gonna put both together in a second, arms and legs. So for now, I just want you to rehearse shooting that leg out. Remember, the leg doesn't go higher than the hip, because I don't want you to over-engage into that lumbar lordosis. I just want you to shoot the leg out, kick it backwards, hip height but not higher. To make this a little bit more interesting, you can flex the foot kicking back, point the foot pulling the knee in, flex the foot again, and then put the knee back down. Foot is flexed. Remember to engage the core, crunching, pull the navel in, your imaginary barrel. Now what are the shoulders doing? Check into your shoulders, pull those shoulders away from the ears, shoulder blades are pulling towards each other, kissing together, tips of the shoulder blades. And last one, left side pulling in, extending out and releasing. Very good. If you do need a little bit of a child's pose or a wibble wobble or a stretch, go ahead. Otherwise, we are connecting arms and legs into the full bird dogs, contract, release, and we do that contralaterally. So the right leg comes out, left arm, and then you pull it all together and shoot it back out. And if you lose your rhythm, don't worry, just come back together. Right leg, left arm, crunch it all in the middle. I don't need you to cross leg and elbow like you're doing a crunch. I just need you to pull leg and elbow in on the same line, like on rails. So you're basically just pulling into the middle but not into the center, if that makes sense. So no crossing over the lines. because I do want you to stay long and extended and rounding over your imaginary ball. Very good. Keep working it. Keep breathing. So we're inhaling into the extension, exhaling into the crunch, rounding the back, elongating the whole back line, extending, inhaling, exhaling, crunch. Inhaling longer, exhaling stronger, engaging the core. Check again. What are the shoulders doing? Hands are underneath the shoulders. Always put your hands firmly onto the ground. Fingers spread. Feel the mound of your index finger. Shoulder blades are sliding towards each other and down. Neck is very long. Use this to pull your head, the neck, out of your rib cage. Release the trapezius. We all need it. Stress muscle that contracts involuntarily every time a stressor is coming. And the very last time, release, wibble wobble. If you need to come back into a child's pose, have a look what we're doing next, because now we're swimming with the arms. They do a little bit of a breaststroke here. That is pulling the palm backwards towards your hips and then reaching back out forward. So we're not pulling the elbow in a straight line, but we're going to the sides, circling that palm down to the hip and then reaching back out forward. Same thing again, diagonally. This is like a little bit of a bonus. Just try to get these arms in, they're very interesting. So we're reaching out with the hand, circling to the side and then reaching back forward and out. Arm goes out, circles in, reaching up and forward, extending, releasing. Legs do the same thing. Flex, point, flex the foot, point and put back down. Flex the foot, shoot out, point the foot, pull in, flex the foot, shoot out, and point, release back in. Very good. Do that just a few more times. Back strengthener, core strengthener, and back stretcher. I'm also strengthening our hips and shoulders here. Last time. Wonderful. And release back down. Now we're turning around. If you need to release your wrist a little bit, just look at the video for a second. We're having a reverse 4-point stance, hands underneath the shoulders, fingers pointing outwards, knees over your feet, and then reach up and over into 3-point stance, reaching the hand overhead. And you can even reach backwards if you want to do a little bit of a back bend here. Just do what's comfortable for you, pushing the hips up, more or less knee height. And now check into your knees. Knees stay more or less parallel, no flaring out or in or collapsing to the sides. I need your feet to stay firmly on the ground. Check into your heels, inner and outer heel, and your inner and outer toe mounts are firmly grounded on the floor, with the knees tracking in the same direction as your feet, even though the upper body is doing this amazing twist and opening here. We're pushing with our glutes, with our hamstrings, our whole body up, working our glutes, working our hamstrings, and strengthening the whole base of our spine here. Glutes are so important for a long and erect spine. Then release for a second, relax your wrists if you need to. We're coming then into a reversed plank when you're ready. Fingers are pointing towards your feet this time with the hands underneath the shoulder. Great shoulder stretch here, opening, and then lift those hips up into reverse plank. Feet can be pointed, engage those glutes, engage those hamstrings. Open and lift the chest, shoulders are pulling away from the ears, shoulder blades touching. And try to elongate your head, pull the crown of your head away from your heels. And we're staying right up here, but simply dropping the hips and lifting them back up. Drop the hips, lift back up. If you can, do not touch the ground. And here you can now go as high as you want, because this is a great shoulder stretch. You can bend the elbows slightly just to release your elbows a little bit if you need to. Engage your hamstrings and your glutes. Great workout for the whole back line, strengthening our back here. Now remember, those shoulders are dropped. No hunching or collapsing. And we can release. This was it for your wrists, so you can lie down on the belly. Get the arms to the sides into a T shape. Now rotate the arms, open the arms, and bring the thumbs up to the sky. Then lift the arms. I would like you to focus not on lifting the hands, but on pulling the shoulder blades together. So we're engaging the movement from the shoulders rather than focusing on getting those hands up. So maybe we can name this the shoulder squeezes or the shoulder pulls, because we're squeezing the shoulders together. And you can even add a little bit of a hold here. So you're squeezing, hold for 1 second, and then release. Variation, V to W. You're extending the arms over and then pulling the elbows in, again squeezing the shoulders and holding for 1 second, squeezing, and then reaching back out. And when you reach back out, reach from your elbows. Elbows are pulling out from your shoulders. Reach into the elbows, into your pinky finger, connecting pinky finger, little finger, and the tip of your shoulder blades. Very good. Great workout for the upper back here, even without weights. And then turn around onto your back, release those shoulders. Get the arms flat on the floor, feet underneath your knees. And simply lift the hips. This is a bit easier version of the reverse plank. So you can either lower the hips down all the way to the ground, or you stay hovering the ground to engage your glutes, your lower back, and the hamstrings just a little bit more. Go as high as you can without going too much into a back bend. Listen to your own body. Whatever feels good for you is fine. If you're starting to have too much of a contraction in the lower back, stay a little bit lower. And we're having a little bit fun here. We're rolling. And this is a massage basically for your back and engaging the core a little bit. Now remember the barrel. So round yourself as round as a barrel. You can grab your shins. Make sure that there's no sand on them. Then round yourself as much as possible. And just fall backwards, float backwards, and swing back and forth. If you want a little bit of a challenge, try to balance on your sitting bones every time you come forward. So you're lengthening your back slightly, balancing on your sitting bones, and then rolling backwards. Try not to roll too much onto your head, the back of your head, as this might overstretch the neck or bring too much weight onto your neck, onto your cervicals. So we're having the hands on the outside of the chins, and a little variation could be that we're grabbing the opposite shin from underneath. So the right hand goes underneath the right leg, grabs the left shin, and the left hand goes underneath the left calf and grabs the right one. So you're crossing over the hands. This allows you to round yourself even more because the chest is coming closer to the knees. If you're feeling too trapped in here and you feel like, oh my God, if I fall, I can't catch myself, then just keep the hands to the outside. Just grab the shins or the ankles. You can even grab the feet. But this helps you to stay rounded, engage the core. And now enjoy this massage of your back. You can even drift a little sideways, massaging the right side and massaging the left side. And we're slowly coming to the stretches. Hip twisters here, just lay down on your back, the arms in a T position to the sides, palms opened to the sky or ceiling. Knees bent 90 degrees and then just shift the hips left and right, waving from side to side, very slowly. This is an opening, a stretch for the side body. We're twisting here. And make it as slow as you can. So we're also stretching our spinal rotators a little bit, massaging the sacrum on the floor. Turn the head in the opposite direction. Very softly and slowly. And you can just keep doing that variation. I just want to show you what you could also do if you want to go slightly further. The hip twister kicks, the upper leg kicks out, more or less 90 degrees to the upper body. And this adds a hamstring stretch to the whole twist stretch. And when you kick out, you can either keep the foot point or you flex the foot, and this will stretch the calf, the hamstrings, maybe even the butt cheek. You might even feel it there. Do that very softly and calmly, whatever version you like. And I do hope you enjoyed the back strengthener. Come back here every time you need to tone your back muscles and to get more length into your back. And I'll see you soon for the next back stories. Bye!
Yes, I believe.